I think anyone that becomes successful, there's casualties on the way.
Yeah.
Maybe your marriage, maybe your health, maybe your finances, maybe your friends, family. Something's going to go, and I think that's just part of business. I don't know successful people that something's not gone on the way. Because you put so much into it, and of course it doesn't. Often it's your health that goes. So, would I change anything? No, of course I wouldn't.
And it's underestimated because a lot of people with the same education go to university, they come out with a lot of debt. I just think, to be, as you said, a plumber and, do an apprentice is the way forward in some respects.
But yeah, look, I'm not going to knock the education side of it, but it's not for everybody. And there's life without a degree. And, you don't need brains to become a millionaire, or to run a business. It's all about the drive and enthusiasm.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, if I had brains, I'd be dangerous.
You would be. You would be, Charlie. I did read that you want to be a counsellor. You want to get into politics. Is this now the future of Charlie Mullins?
I would think so. I mean, again, depending where reform go. I wouldn't do it for any other party. I got involved with Conservatives once. But, the only one I get involved with now is reform, because I think we need change. I think, Nigel's a person that will make changes happen. And I think, again, I've got something to offer there, being someone that, is brought up in London, understands London, and obviously understands about getting youngsters into work. So I'd be more than happy to do that for reform.
Yeah.
I mean, more than happy, yeah.
I was hoping you're going to be Mayor of London. It took me ages to get in here today. You can't go over 20 miles an hour. The traffic's virtually standstill.
Yeah, well, someone needs to get London moving. That's what you need. Someone who can get London moving. And unfortunately, the people we've got at the moment just can't do that. And again, unfortunately, the government we've got at the moment just don't understand business. For me, the most important thing that, to get London moving or to get youngsters into work is to create jobs and get people into work. Yeah. You know yourself, Lizzie, if somebody gets a job, it changes their life. It absolutely changes their life.
A shadow.
And that's what I think, we lack on. We lack on, encouraging people into work. The value of work is just, it's just priceless, isn't it? Yeah. And of course, you can be successful. You can just do a wonderful living, but we've just got this culture now that not all of it is just where they're not interested in work. It's benefits are too much, and we need to go back to the old-fashioned work ethics. Get out of bed, go to work, and do okay.
Yeah. And you feel good about yourself, don't you? After you've had
of course you do.
I love work.
Of course you do.
And there can people that make excuses. I'm not well or I've got mental health. But for your mental health, I do believe work is wonderful because you feel you socialise and you're out there.
Undoubtedly, there's no two ways about it. I mean, we've got more mental health issues now, or I call it the mental wealth card they play now, don't they? Because you just say you've got that, and you get signed off, and it's just a waste of I think it's just a waste of a big part of your life.
A lot of my friends are in Dubai, moved to Dubai.
Oh, there's loads of people there, non-stop. When I'm in Dubai, so many people come up to us. Friend the other day said, I only moved to Dubai because I was listening to you about going. And he said, and I'm out here. And that's what's happening a lot, So I don't see any change over here while Labour's in government.
And do you think let's just say if and when Nigel Farage could be our next Prime Minister, then would you come back?
Oh, undoubtedly, yeah. I mean, look, I think it's a racing cert that he will become Prime Minister. I mean, they're so far ahead now with the voting, and again, it's just everybody's just had enough of it now. So undoubtedly, I'll come back then, and hopefully the business that we've got, it's a family business. I'm a non-executive chairman on it, so it means I don't get no dosh. It just costs you dosh.
But it's a family-run business. It's doing very well.
And I asked myself, the top three, you got Starmer, Reeves, and Rayner. Would I employ them three people? And the answer is no. And yeah, we've got them running the country. So that's the way I look at it anyhow. And until they go, and I've said this from day one, that they'll be begging to get out of Downing Street. They will be screaming to get out of Downing Street. And I still believe a general election will be called early. And, the way the country's going, it'll be a third world country, sir. And it's a shame to see, I haven't turned my back on the UK. Of course, I'm English. I'm proud to be English, and I would be proud to help them. But no longer am I prepared to just chuck in money and let them waste the money. I don't know if you're aware, Lizzie, but I've paid in over 100 million in tax.
What?
100 million in tax over the years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And so people say to me, "Oh, you've gone to avoid tax." I haven't gone to avoid tax. You wouldn't go to Spain as a tax exile. I've really gone because I'm just not prepared to pay in the system anymore, and let the money be wasted. I mean, the We Fix London, they comply with all the UK tax regs, and that's fine on it. But I'm just not prepared to do it no more.
It's unbelievable the amount of money you've paid in.
Yeah.
So there's your answer when people say you're not being patriotic by leaving this country. You've paid in that amount of money, and the government are wasting it.
Well, why would you penalise successful people? It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And there's a few millionaires, billionaires that I know personally. They say 2 billionaires have left the country, 11,300 millionaires. Well, I know 2 billionaires that have left, so they've got to be more.
I know, and I do too.
Yeah, and there's a lot more people that are left, and figures are not correct. A lot of people are not making something of it. Maybe they're keeping it quiet for whatever reason. But there's certainly a lot more left. And talking to Alfred Best in Dubai the other day, I bumped into him, and he said like I agree. An entrepreneur can go and work anywhere. We don't have to be in the UK. We can go America, we can go Spain, we can go Italy, we can go where we want. If you've got the entrepreneurial skills, you can make it happen wherever you want them to happen. And and that's what I will do in Dubai. If all of a sudden it becomes too difficult here, then we'll have a We Fix Dubai.
Wow. Well, my friends will love that, having a We Fix
Yeah.
Dubai. We all need a We Fix Dubai. So what would you say out there to young, younger generation with a dream? Would you say not do it in this country, or would you say, look, I have to start up their own business, because they feel like they're a bit let down at the minute and disillusioned?
I'm first of all going to say, don't follow your dream. Follow your prospects, because often you'll follow your dream, and time you get 30 or something, you ain't got a career, you got no money, it hasn't worked out. So my take is, follow your prospects, what you want to get into, and then you can do your dream afterwards when you've got the cash.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's the way I would look at it. It's all great wanting to be a footballer or reality TV star or something else of that line, but you have to be realistic and just basically just get a job and ideally an apprenticeship, and you can have your dream afterwards. It's probably not what youngsters want to hear, but you've got to be realistic. And probably one in couple of million make it as the footballer or the actress or actor. And so you've just got to be realistic. But let's not kid anybody. I'm not going to use that term. If I can do it, anyone can do it, because I think that's like, I just don't like that term of it. But what I would say is it's a level playing field out there, and the more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
Do you think you've got to have a bit of luck? Have you, like your love life, you've got to be a bit lucky in the right time, right place?
I don't actually. I don't. All these people say bit of luck, bit of this. You know what I mean? I mean, if I relied on luck, I wouldn't have been working 7 days a week, getting up in the middle of the night for doing emergency call-outs. I mean, I don't believe it's luck. I really don't. I mean, other people go along with it, luck. But what's luck? What's lucky about working hard?
Yeah.
I think what you have got to have is you've got to have drive, enthusiasm. You've got to have the confidence and the willpower to think to yourself that, you can do it, kind of thing. And, yourself, Lizzie, many people that know of me and they know my background. And, I would say I came from, as poor background there is and as rough as it can be. And it's a case of, it's all about you as an individual and getting on with it and putting some sort of power into it. I mean, you can never foresee the future. I mean, I thought myself, all I ever want to be was a plumber. and that would have been fine. And then all of a sudden, that's going well, and you think, oh, what's the next step? What's the next step? And my answer to anybody that wants to start a business is, definitely go for it. And there's no business like your own business.
Yeah. So how do you spot a gold digger if you're dating? Can you tell? Because my friend, who is very wealthy, always can see them coming and will know instantly. But is it that easy, and does it worry you?
I don't think it's that easy, no. If I'm being honest, I don't. I think I think look, you can't be good at everything. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that I'm a good businessman, and I may not be the best judge of women. So how can you spot one?
You can't.
Well, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It's a difficult one. I mean, what I know is everyone else can spot them. You know what I mean? So, I have to be honest.
Your family are very protective, though, aren't they? Of you, and you've got great friends like James Well, our friend James.
Yeah,
Well.
James is a good friend, James Well. Yeah, but you know yourself, if you're with someone and people think they're a gold digger, but you got to remember, like, if you've got a few quid, and it's sort of, you got sort of a younger women around you or something like that. I mean, everybody starts saying it's got to be gold digger.
Well,
it's
not
got
necessarily.
to be.
Not always, I suppose. It's
No, not always, but I'm just sort of saying is, for me, I don't think they're easy to spot. I'll be honest with you.
Right, because you're very recognisable, and it's hard. Like if I'm on a date, I can tell if someone's after that fame. I'll see a photographer or something they've called. I can just tell the signs now. I can tell if someone is after me for the wrong reasons. It's funny. It's sort of instinct, isn't it?
Yeah, but as I say, I'm not the one to be able to say how to spot a gold digger. I'm just not. You know what I mean?
You can spot a good plumber, though.
Yeah, but I don't want to marry a plumber.
Charlie, honestly, your life is amazing. I think we should make a film of the Charlie Mullins life, because it is an extraordinary story.
Well, I know I think I brought a book out quite a few years now, like Bogs Down the Business, but I do plan to bring another book out. And because a lot have changed since the last one, 2 divorces, fiance, a few other rows and that, and a few fallouts, and I'm sure you're aware of it. Just won a case where the Labour government tried to take my OBE away from me.
Wow.
And that's just been, so obviously they had no grounds to take it away.
What was their reasons for wanting to take your honour away from you?
If you could believe it, I think they come up with 5 things that I'd either said on TV or on X or Twitter. Just stupid things. I made a comment about Carol Walderman. Who's interested about Carol Walderman?
Also have I. That's
I made a comment about, the army should be on the streets and do the job we're paying them to do. Navy should be in the sea and doing the job we're paying them to do. And I probably didn't word it the best way. And I said something about, the Mayor of London can't. I mean, if I really speak...
I think a lot of it. I've got a black cab in today. The black cabbie couldn't stop talking about the Mayor of London.
That's it. So I'm only saying what people are thinking, but, they've tried it on. They were never going to win, I have to be honest with you, because the lawyers said that this is just so politically motivated. And that's what they just tried it on. And they come unstuck, if I'm being honest, really unstuck.
And that's amazing, because Keir Starmer said today he's all for freedom of speech and he's backing it. And then look, another case like yourself.
Well, as you know, I've always been outspoken, and because of this incident about the OBE, I've joined the free speech movement with, I think his name, anyhow, Toby something. And yeah, we should have free speech. We should have free speech. I'm not on about, being disrespectful to anybody or insulting anybody. But
Toby Young, is it? Is it Toby Young?
Eh?
Is it Toby Young?
Yeah, Toby Young.
I know.
But if anything, I think, it was Starmer that started this free speech thing on. But for Starmer, the only ones that can do free speech is what he likes to be said. But they're never going to shut me up. I'll tell you, no way in a million years. And I have to be a little bit more careful now. Evidently, they're watching what I do.
That is unbelievable. And, we've had news of the mother that's in jail for putting a tweet out, Lucy Colony.
Well, there you go.
I mean,
there you go.
Incredible that she's got to study in jail for a tweet, which then removed within hours.
Oh, look, you're certainly right. I mean, I think if Starmer had his way, I'd have been in with Tommy Robinson. If I'm being honest with you, just through a few throwaway comments on Twitter. I think it was 5 items. And I said something about Carol Walderman.
Oh,
Who
ridiculous.
gives a fuck about Carol Walderman? If I'm being honest.
They take your OBE away because of a comment.
Yeah, and so I was bringing the honours into distribution, or disrupt. And, you have to, I'm probably going to be blunt about it. There's people in the Labour Party that have been done for, things with children and nonce things, and they've been in prison, and they've still got their knighthood, or they've still got their honour. So it's just politically motivated.
Thankfully you won it. But I think the country would have gone up in arms if that.
Well, to be honest, when I put the case to the lawyers, he's just said, this is so wrong, what they're doing. It's so wrong. He said, and I think we've done a 59-page statement of different charities we work with, the Shooting Star Hospice, various ones, about getting youngsters into work, about employing people, training people, about helping people in general. And it was like a no-brainer. But, these people can, I think if you haven't got the fighting spirit back, I mean, the government thought that I was just going to hold my hands up and say, have it. And the only way he'll get that medal back is when I tell him where to shove it. And that's the only one.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to shut you up, Charlie. I can't shut you up on this podcast. I'm very happy not that you want to. But it's amazing. Well, I definitely, and I'm going to start you to do this book. I think you have to write a new book. I'd love for you to do the Charlie Mullins movie. Maybe I could get a part. I could put the fan drive or something. But incredible life. Thank you, Charlie, for being with us today. It's been amazing. And here's to more success, if it's possible. Yes.
Undoubtedly. It's not over yet, what I mean? It's certainly not over yet.
It's only just beginning. Well, thank you, Charlie Mullins. It's been amazing.
Thank you.